Let's call this meeting to order if we could. We'll be exactly on time, maybe a little bit ahead.
Is Randy? I got Randy.
You had to say that, didn't you? Nelson Fiscal Court will meet in closed session per KRS 61.810, 1B, where property acquisition, where open discussions would affect the value of a specific piece of property. We'll do that at the tail end of our regular business meeting. First order of regular business would be the minutes and bills and transfers. Let's do the bills and minutes first. Golly, I'm confused this morning. I heard that phone go off. Who was that?
Yeah, let's check our phone.
Mine's off.
The minutes, that you guys had a chance to review the minutes. I have. Did not see any corrections or changes, but I'm open if I missed something.
I did not see anything, and I like the presentation of the minutes, and I will first.
Motion to approve by Keith Metcalf, your second.
A second.
Second by Eric, thank you. Everybody was looking, but nobody was talking. All approved, say aye. Disapprove, motion will carry. Next will be your bills and additional bills and transfers. I'll get that right this time. There's several draws for the Stephen Foster Drama Project. Just so you know, just so you know, the mayor and I have made several other contacts positively, and there should be some more revenue coming in for us.
Page 3, Duke of All should read kerosene instead of propane.
Page 3 for ambulance.
Yeah, it should say kerosene.
Duke of All don't sell propane.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that.
Good case.
Any other corrections to the bills? Otherwise, entertain a motion to approve the bills and transfers.
I'll make a motion to take the bill as presented.
And transfers. Okay, motion been made by Bernard Rice, second by Gary Coulter. Further discussion?
No.
All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion carried. I like that eye jumper. They don't.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Get your feet right back
yeah.
to you, buddy.
He wants to get that picture taken and get out of here.
Next would be the 2019 to 2022 committee assignments. I have put together a list open for recommendations or changes. I tried to pick out each of the magistrates have some area. I consider it maybe some areas that would be beneficial to the court. If we need these committees, we're going to try to start meeting committees a little more often. Everybody have questions or concerns? I did assign the senior magistrates with more tenure an extra committee apiece. You guys have 4, Bernard, Keith. I think Jeff. I think you've got 3, 4 also.
Yes, he does.
Then you rookies got the 3. We're gonna break you. We're gonna break you in. But if there's any no objection, entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion
Thank you, Eric. To approve.
to approve.
Who seconded that? Jeff second. Further discussion? All approved, say aye. I'm sorry. Jeff, you know it's fast enough. I'm sorry. You had discussion.
You had a committee?
I did. I took a committee off and added the budget committee at the bottom.
You took animal control?
I did.
Probably something we need to do more as a fiscal court than as a committee, I would say.
Well, not only that, I deal with it on a daily basis, and there's not a whole lot. It's pretty statute by statute or
All right.
it's controlled by either our ordinance or state statute. Is what I'm trying to say. And all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, motion will carry. Thank you. And I will start trying to get a little more organized on. We don't want a regular committee meetings with waste of time. But however, from time to time, and you guys will remember, probably the 2 committees we've met more than anybody is always the personnel committee and then the building and grounds committee. So those are the ones that always seem I need input on. Okay. Correction to the fire dues ordinance, sheriff collections in our ordinance that we passed several years ago. We failed to put in the commission allowed by the sheriff, even though the sheriff was taking the 1%. by the usual customary, I think what the fire departments get. I don't remember how he came up with that number. That would be under probably Sheriff Campbell, probably initially.
Campbell or Newton.
I think it was Campbell's probably. But then there were some other corrections that Matthew recommended for typos and some additional language in there. So basically all we're really adding would be a paragraph, whereas the sheriff gets a 1% commission on the fire dues.
But the sheriff was getting it anyway. Is that what I
Yes,
heard?
yeah. If you, I put a cover of the letter from the auditor, why they wanted us to have that in our ordinance.
I don't think I got that.
You guys didn't get a copy of
I
that?
don't think I got it.
Gary got one.
Yeah, I've got one.
Did you do this one?
No, there it is.
Oh,
I have a question, does the 1% come out of the fees that's paid in?
Yes.
Okay.
Normally, like, to collect our money, it's 4.25%. Schools is how much? 2.25%?
2 or 3%.
Yeah. You got, and now the city school collects their own.
Right.
City of Barstown collects their own. City of New Haven collects their own taxes.
the city of Bloomfield don't.
City of Bloomfield does not. I think it's a good idea for the sheriff to collect them. Something about that badge, it means a little bit more than me showing up, knocking on somebody's door, or to go pay their taxes.
City of Bloomfield is a fire district, a tax district.
Taxing district. But they also, the city has a tax too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they don't,
Yeah.
you have to pay it through the sheriff instead of
Yeah.
the city of New Haven. I have to pay
So
the
I would
city of
ask
New
for
Haven.
first reading and advertise for second adoption of that particular amendments to the ordinance.
I'll make a motion that we approve first reading of the ordinance.
Thank you.
Advertise for second.
Is there a
I'll second.
Second by Eric. Further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Who made the motion? Jeff?
Eric? Jeff did, and Eric second.
Second, got it.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapproved? Motion will carry. Okay, next would be 2018 Sheriff Tax Settlement Report. This is a report you are just submitting as a matter of record that you submitted to the fiscal court. This long document here, thick one. You guys didn't get a
We don't
copy?
have it.
You have to have a copy of that. Jeff's got it.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Don't scare me now. You didn't by any chance pick up any of your mail, did you, Gary? During the week?
sorry?
You didn't pick up any of your mail or anything during the week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that might have,
Yeah.
it should have been in there.
Yeah.
All you're doing, you're approving as a matter of record pending audit. So need a motion to accept. All you're doing is accepting matter of record.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Jeff's second, second by Bernard Ice. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Does this mean that there was not an audit, is not being completed?
It's not completed at this time.
There's an audit, this was just a report submitted pending the audit. But we have to put it in a matter of public record, and they have to present it to court.
But the amendment to the tax rate based on the recommendation from the audit, correct or not correct?
That was the prior year audit.
Prior year? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is tax settlement.
Well, there's something about this audit too. There's a reason why Mike had to stay.
What we wanted them to stay for the full
It's
calendar
the
year.
end of the calendar year audit,
Yeah.
the outgoing audit for the outgoing sheriff.
Court's done these before, it's in a little bit different format. Okay, surplus items. The road department's got about, how many chairs there down at the garage there, Lee? Probably 50, 75,
Probably close to 100.
close to 100. Well, I'm trying to be. These chairs have been accumulated over the last several years from various sources. I need to ask fiscal court if we can declare those surplus and auction those off.
Is that all we got to surplus?
That's right now, it's really, we got some equipment coming up later on we want to do as it gets a little closer to spring probably.
We've had some stuff in previous courts that we've surplus that we still have not auctioned off. What we try to do is get one stuff together.
Right.
So we're not having.
You've seen those chairs sitting down in the garage, haven't you?
I think there's no ambulance in the back. There's no pickup in the back. We still need to auction off. And we'll just pick one pretty day instead of 0 degrees. But this is one of the things you need to get on the list.
I'll make a motion we declare the chairs and the couch in Brad's office surplus for auction.
The couch should make a trip somewhere else since you've last been down there. That one was surplus.
Wickland might need that couch. I think that's back in that
All right,
area.
Keith, now, a motion's been made by Jeff, I need a second to that.
I'll second.
Second by Eric, further discussion, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, motion will carry. Okay, appointments. Oh, one page too high. An appointment to the joint City and County Ethics Board. This is a joint appointment between the city and the county. Christina Bradford has agreed to stay on to that board. The city's already appointed her. I entertain a motion to approve Christina back on the board.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, nobody else wants the job, is what you're trying to say. He's made the motion, is there a second to that?
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, motion will carry. We'll give you a signed copy here. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to jail report. Mr. Jailer?
Yes. Total population of today is 153. We have 109 county inmates. State inmates, we have 43. We have one federal inmate that we're holding for county charges. Circuit court has 63 in circuit court, 47 in district court. We have 38 females and 115 males.
I guess you'll give that to that for me, Rick. Thank you. Landfill solid waste report, John?
To save Joe a few hundred phone calls, we're on normal schedule this week. He normally gets off quite a few phone calls. This year is our tire amnesty event. That's held every 3 years. So that'll be, for our county, it'll be May 9th, 10th, and 11th. That'll be out at the fairgrounds. And as we get closer to that, we'll give out some more information on
May
times.
what?
What's that?
What May day?
9th, 10th, and 11th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So
At the
probably
fairgrounds.
at the fairgrounds.
So that's only free for residents. It's not for people who run
Retail,
businesses.
right.
Yep, not for
Okay.
business. Yep.
That's a very important 3 days to get rid of a lot of these tires.
Sure it
Yes.
is.
And it doesn't cost the county, but we're spending $15,000-$20,000 a year getting rid of tires.
Oh, yeah, 15 to 20 is what we
Do we
spend.
have a lot at the landfill right now?
We probably have 5 loads. So basically what we'll do before that event, the stuff that we charge, we gotta get those hauled off before we start doing bulky item. So probably within the next month, we'll get our couple loads hauled off. That way from anything we get through bulky item, they'll come out here and collect all those too free. So we'll still pay a little bit this
That's right,
year,
bulky items be before that, so.
be before that.
So those tires that would pick the bulky item can go to that event.
Can go to the event. But everything that we've brought in through the year to now that we've charged for, that we gotta haul off.
Really?
Where's that being held at again?
Fairgrounds.
At the fairgrounds.
What's that date again?
Good event.
The May 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Knock 'em out of the road for
Yeah,
us.
tell everybody.
I still puzzle me why people take 4 tires home with them. Still puzzle. Yeah.
We pick up free.
To save $8 sitting in your yard for 3 years. Anyway, moving on. Bulky item pickup, that's gonna start February 25th, and that's gonna start basically everything from the east side of 31E and the east side of 49. We'll give us closer to the end of February, we'll start giving more details on that. We're having a few issues. We have the 412, or one of our garbage trucks. Dean, I sent you a PO
I got that
yesterday.
magistrate's copy. This is why they were fresh on the table this morning. I was gonna get them to go ahead and prove that.
Okay. So basically, we got pricing, cheapest price on that was from Reliable Transmissions. They've done several transmissions for us in the past. They come on site, take care of it, takes about a day to do, so if we can
They
get
come
a.
on site and put it in here.
Yep. Really? They're very good, they're good at what they do, they specialize in transmissions, come on site.
Put the transmission in the garbage truck.
Well, they're taking a brand new one out. I mean, they're taking the old one out, and putting a brand new one in too. That's a little easier to read the old one.
Yeah, so basically, it's a rebuilt transmission what we're getting.
They have one on the shelf.
They go, yeah, on the shelf, so basically they drop ours down, take it back to the shop, rebuild it for the next guy, bring a new rebuilt one in. Yeah, like a core, yeah.
Do you get any kind of, is it like a 6 month, a year warranty or?
2-year warranty on
Two-year
this.
warranty?
Yeah.
What's the age on that truck?
It might be 10, 12 years old.
Get some age on it.
It's getting some age on it. It's one of
Well,
our,
down the highway, this is very cheap expense compared to
oh, yeah,
$180,000.
yeah. It's still a good, solid truck. It's one of our older ones that's out every day. We got several that are backups, but it's still a good truck, and it's,
Imagine
hopefully has a lot of years
especially the
left.
guys that's over the $5,000 limit to spend. You know, I got this morning, yesterday afternoon late. I could have went ahead and purchased it with the declaration to the treasurer, but since we were meeting you guys today, I just wanted you guys to go ahead and approve or disapprove of it, and I would recommend approval.
that's the guy in the shop to get
In other words, I could spend the money not have to deal with you guys. That's what you said.
I just brought up something else that's higher up than we are.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pay it.
Okay, motion's been made, second by Gary. Further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
When's the last time y'all had a new garbage?
New garbage truck. It was, actually, it was a year ago. I think like in the next month, it'll be a year old.
Do you all like cycle, like, how often do you end up purchasing?
It's about every 3 years what we
About every
average.
3 years?
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
And Eric, don't listen to these two guys. No, they do a great job.
You'll run a truck about that time frame he's talking about, 10 to 12 years. And what happens is the metal just completely wears out. Right out.
Yeah, I seen it at the city.
A lot of stuff like on the boxes and stuff, the back, you gotta do some welding. Our mechanics now, they do a great job of fabricating different parts and whenever stuff rust out.
So are you getting pretty close to being ready for a new truck, is that what you're saying?
I like to hold off another year or two.
I tell you something else, sanitation workers do a great job.
They sure do. Them guys are something
They
else.
really are. They work in all types of weather.
They are.
And
A
they
hazardous
go
job.
to them.
A hazardous job.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Anything else, John?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. EMS report, Joe had some business come up this morning he dealt with, and he told me there's nothing exciting he needed to report on, so he won't be here. He's dealing with some internal situations. Recreation report, Bryce?
We had some cancellations this weekend of basketball, so I'm spending the majority of my time trying to figure out how to find them makeup games. And then we're having a recreation board meeting tomorrow at in the soccer meeting at Dean Watts Park at 6:30. That's it.
Okay. Road department report? Where's Lee? There you are. Oh, by the way, Lee got a promotion this morning. He's gonna be he's got a new title. They call it our photographer for our pictures afterwards. So that's adding another to his list. No more pay.
I feel sorry for him already.
Go ahead.
This past Saturday, we had over an inch of rain before the temperatures plummeted well below freezing. We had an additional about 2 inches of snow. The temps fell to about 16 to 17 degrees, which caused some pretty slick roads. We sent our crew out Sunday morning, spent about 10 hours treating the roads. Overall, the effectiveness of salt is about 20 degrees, but whereas 50 degrees the day before, the pavement temperatures were still warm, so the salt really did a pretty good job of melting. We did go yesterday and treat the roads again for some patchy areas. Overall, the county roads are in pretty good shape. We're dealing with any calls that we get if there's a slick spot that's still out there. The guys been shouldering, been rocking and grading shoulders that were in need of repair, and our other crew's been working on ditches and replacing some culverts to improve drainage in areas. Basically, that's about it for road department.
And you pointed out in your email to the magistrates earlier that you used straight salt this time.
We did use straight salt with the temperatures being so low.
And that was a good decision to do about 200 tons of salt.
We used approximately 200 tons. maybe a little bit
This
over.
morning before we came, it's already started showing back up. So our hauler that we ordered, I think 3 loads had already came back in by the time I'd left this morning to come to
Is that right?
court.
Yeah.
So we were getting it replenished quickly.
That's good. That's the fastest I've seen it ever happen.
We got lucky.
You got on the ball there, didn't you, Lee? Brad?
I'll only give both of you kudos. I never had the first phone call. And you let the road department know that too. I mean, it's not the first phone call.
Very good job.
Thank you.
It helps when you get that center to pop back out.
Yes.
Correct.
But that was probably as key as the salt was.
One more thing, I opened a can of worms, Brad.
That's fine.
I went out and looked at Woodlawn Road,
Mhm.
where it's caving in. You have any plans, future action there?
Not at this
Not
time.
yet.
The road's not catered to the
The
bank.
side
yeah,
of it,
the side
but
of it.
eventually it'll be on the road if it keeps on.
How much shoulder you got left on when you were down there? 4 or 5 foot?
Maybe, yeah.
I was still up. Lee's been going about every 3 days.
I was down there yesterday, and the shoulder where it's, the actual shoulder is not falling any more than what's already fallen. Thing is the more rock that you're putting in, increasing the weight, and you'll notice more trees are falling down towards the bottom of the bank, so it's pushing that on out, so.
Basically, right now, we gotta get out of this wet season.
Yeah.
I mean, until it dries up. I'd hate to have to get down in there and take those trees out that are there, that's actually holding what we have left. We'll lose it all at that point in time. So I ain't kidding you, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping and praying that we
We
make it
talked about
to the
maybe even
summer.
in the spring, some fetch or something over top of that to cover, to hold that bank into place too.
We've been lucky with Keys. Yours hasn't moved. I was up there, when I
Yeah, I
said
was up there the
yours,
other day,
Leonard
too.
Hall is the one we're talking about. And
Yeah, I think that was a great fix.
I don't know if we wait until the summertime, 'cause that's when we did yours, where it dries out enough where we can do the same thing with yours, is add additional concrete, like I said, Lee says. So wet right now, the more we add, it just keeps wanting to slide and slide and slide.
Record year on
Don't get me
rainfall
wrong,
last
it's,
year.
it's a worry. I mean, we're keeping an eye on it. As long as we have the shoulder there, it's the reason I asked that question. We have signage up, we have our barrels up, there's a good shoulder, so there's a lot of places in the county we ain't got but 4 or 5 foot to a shoulder before you have issues of dropping off, so that's key to keep that shoulder there. Anything else, guys?
Thank you.
Do you have like a temperature range that you're going to continue to use just pure salt, or?
Lee, I'll let you answer that, but yes, there is.
Salt, the sodium chloride that we use, it's 10 times more effective at 30 degrees than it is at 20 degrees. Shows you how just 10 degrees makes a big difference on that. My personal recommendation would be anything in the low 20s, probably 23 degrees or below, to go with straight salt. I'll talk to Brad more on that.
So last year I kept up with, when we would have an event, I'd write down in a spreadsheet what the event was and what the temperature was and how much salt sand mix we used, and then eventually back calculate to how much salt we would use. And we had an event last year that was 1 to 3 inches, almost identical to this, low temperatures and whatnot. And for that event, we used 180 tons of salt, which is what we used Sunday when we went out. The sand really is just buying you time. I've never yet seen sand melt ice or snow. It's
Sand
not.
just gives you a little more,
It gives you traction. That's all it's doing. And it's waiting until, like Dean said, until the sun comes out.
And what it does, it creates, when, I've started looking at some of these classes, it creates some heat.
Well, I would highly recommend, if any of you guys get the chance, go to the state training about salt and snow. And you will see what their opinion is of how you should be treating these roads. And trust me, they hate sand. They do not recommend it at all. They don't use it. Now, we had luck with it over the years, but there are certain situations like this past weekend. I mean, it would not have
And
been
you have to
good.
look at what the forecast is, if the weather's gonna stay at 20 or 25 and below for the next 3 or 4 days, you know, all that comes into play.
Plus, you only have to haul. You don't have to haul sand all over the county, right?
Well,
it's mixed.
I'm talking about and with the salt and sand mixture,
Correct.
you can get more roads treated off a truckload with just pure salt.
Correct.
Yes, and we did choke down our spreaders using straight salt, and it was still appeared to be just as effective as opening it up and using the sand salt mix.
What's it, if y'all ever get a chance, I know you guys go to a lot of the trainings, especially for the newer gym, go to that salt sand one. It's a good one. I think Bernard went to the sign one here last week. Those are good classes. They really are. Jeff, I know you get a lot of them.
When's the sand salt one coming up?
They just did one. We had one of our guys go.
There's
What?
there's one coming up.
There's one in detail.
I'll tell you what we'll do.
I can email
Lee will
you.
find out and email all of you. How's that?
It's on the website too. They got it.
Yeah, if you can't, computer will always, we'll call them, local government, let you in. I'm going on.
Yeah.
What's the repercussion of straight sand as far as the deterioration of the roads?
Well, where you come in with salt, I think is what you meant.
Yeah, salt.
Salt is not good for chip seal roads. It'll break down the chemical bond of the oil and the rock and whatnot. It's not so much a problem with your asphalt roads. I mean, salt's used everywhere up north. And the state, that's all they use is straight salt. And I sent Keith an article the other day. What salt effectively does is it truly does melt whatever's there. And, you know, asphalt's porous, right? So the water's going to go down into the asphalt. And then if it refreezes, that's at what point in time you get potholes. That's where the deterioration comes from your roads. Not so much that the salt is eating it up, it's the water gets down in and freezes. Guys, that's going to happen anyhow. As soon as it gets warm enough to melt, the water's going to go down in it anyhow. So you're just accelerating that process. It's going to happen anyhow. It is a worry of doing that, but you got to pick your medicine on what you want to take. Do you want to leave the road slick, or do you want to get them treated and just deal with some of the potholes?
Well, I know years ago when you did bridges, they'd always have the break of the bridge right over the embankment. Now they're done away with that due to salt and water going down on top of that embankment and eating the top of that embankment off.
Concrete doesn't like salt, yeah.
Yeah.
Concrete salt don't like salt.
And I tell you, landscaping don't like salt either, because all the landscape around these islands, around the courthouse, have suffered the last 10 or 12 years because of it. We took them out this year. They were-
Given the choice, I'm going to be conservative.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm going
I
to
get
put
you.
it
And it's safety first, yeah.
We did run off the road, state turned the truck over on Benwood Road Sunday morning, short up.
All good discussion. I mean, when it's cold is when you need to just go the straight salt.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys, on road? Anything else, Lee? Okay. Move on then to old new business. Guys, have anything that's not on the agenda you want to discuss?
Go ahead.
Just one question. Buck, we're gonna get written reports in our thing in the future. I know you just getting your feet underneath of you, but are we gonna get written reports, jail reports in the future? We usually.
Well, like you read off how many prisoners and all that, they used to get that in writing from the jailer?
I have copies today.
Okay.
It's just something I can't provide ahead of time because it's not going to be, I did like population from this morning. So I do have copies if y'all would like copies.
Well, maybe if you could bring us one right before your court, like before you sit down, just give us one.
Just put 'em
give us
in
a
the-
chance
in our
to look at it.
Mailbox.
Mailboxes over here. And that's usually what Dorcas used to
Yeah,
do. We
it'd
pick
be a
them up
little
that day,
helpful to-
you know.
Give us an idea when we're sitting around our coffee shops and people can, well, how many you got in the jail?
It's kind of hard to catch all the numbers that you all throw at us.
Okay.
I got one thing, Rich.
Okay.
I would like to thank my wife for coming today to let her know that I really do have a job. She thinks I do nothing, so I just want to let her know.
I don't, Carol's the first time he showed up in like 6 months. I don't know where-
She's never seen him dressed up, so she wanted to see him dressed up.
That's all.
You just had to say.
I just had to.
You had to get your wife.
I just had to do.
Okay, yes, sir, Sheriff.
I'd like to send the excess fees for 2018 on behalf of former Sheriff Mike Newton for $185,000 to fiscal court.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. Thank you, thank you.
Pretty high bar there.
Yes, sir. Hey, Raymond, we like checking somebody like that.
Bring us another check next
Raymond,
time.
we just had my seat for that. We'd like to have 186,000 next year.
We'll try.
Poor old jailer, he never gets to submit any excess fee. Okay, this time we'll entertain a motion to go out of regular session into closed session per KRS 61810. 1B, where deliberations of future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, but only when the publicity would affect the value of a specific piece of property to be acquired for public use or sold by the public agency. In this particular case, there are several pieces of properties that we will be talking about. Motion? Motion by Bernard Ice, is there a second? Second by Gary. All approve, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Ask clear the courtroom, please. Brad and John can stay. Okay. This time, I would entertain a motion to go out of closed session and back into regular session. Motion made by Gary, is there a second?
I'll second.
You're gonna let me stay here all day then. Second by one of the Jeff Lear, I think was who I was looking at. Yeah. All approve, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Motion to adjourn by Bernard Ice.
I'll second.
Second by Eric. All approve, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Thank you all.
Picture time.
Uh-oh.